although there's a pause right now in our lives, we shouldn't take it as an excuse to make it a pause in our resume either.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of showing that to future employers, although they will probably pardon that for most people because internships have been canceled, but I wanted to still have something on my resume and no gaps, and that was my goal because I wanted to show future employers that I did work hard, I put my foot forward, and I did try my best to achieve the one thing that many others couldn't, unfortunately. So I'm from Parkland, Florida. It's like a little suburban area, and so I chose to go to Chicago based on opportunity. I'm like, you know what? I want to spread my wings and fly and go to a new state, new city, explore, get a whole new experience. And of course, my mom, she was okay with that because she wanted me to experience something great as well.
Awesome.
Background wise, she's a single mom, so she raised me and my brother. She's a strong woman, so that's where I come from. And based on seeing struggles and life experience in general, it's pushed me and motivated me to become a strong person and also push and be determined for what I want. My major is psychology, but I have an added minor in information systems. And the reason why I have psychology as my major is because I was pre-med for 2 years.
Mm.
And then I ended up changing my career path, but I said, you know what? I already did a lot of my psych courses. I'm going to continue with this, and I'm going to add the minor in information systems. So I have data analysis on my belt. I'm also taking a coding class at Harvard right now online.
Mm-hmm.
There's that. And then I kept psychology because I feel like having psych on your belt is good as well,
It
because you
is.
know how to have a good culture and good diversity within the workplace. And you know how to handle people in a positive way. I don't mean handle as in I'm
I get
handling
you.
you, but you know
Yeah.
what I mean, is how
Yeah.
to
How to
socialize
interact with
properly,
people,
how to
empathy.
interact. Exactly, how to have personal emotional intelligence and understanding different perspectives. Like if someone comes into work today mean or upset, you ask why. They probably had a bad day at home. These are people you work with. You have to be understanding. You have to step into other people's shoes, and that's what psychology has helped me see. So that's pretty much where I come from, is working hard for what I have.
That's super
And
awesome. Yeah, and it's so inspiring to see you, still in college, and you are a junior or sophomore.
I'm going into my senior year in
So
college.
you're a rising senior, and you left Parkland, Florida, and you came to the Midwest where it's super cold,
Yes.
and decided to go to Loyola all by yourself. And the story of Upkey is really about grades. It's about students, and not just students, but everybody having that inner confidence to know that they have something to offer. These are the type of people that we need. These are the type of people that we don't want to let stay aside and not have opportunities, right?
Exactly what you're saying. I do believe in the law of attraction, and I believe that it does work, but also showing what skills you can bring to the table is the cherry on top.
One of the questions today always asks me is, "Hey, Emmanuel, what can I do? COVID is destroying a lot of my summer plans. What can I do so that post-COVID, I can still be attractive to employers?" Because this is a thing that we sometimes fail to grasp is there are opportunities. You just need to be number one. You need to be in that mindset to search for the
You
opportunities.
have to search, you have to network. Networking is the biggest thing for me, connecting
Absolutely.
with people.
And
And that's how I got another job before this.
mm. And you
So,
had to cancel the other job?
I told them I'll do side work for them. I
Okay.
said that if I have time on the side of my internship, I can work from home and they'll count my hours. So
Okay. That's
that
cool.
works. I actually work for a clinic for a COVID facility.
Oh,
So
really?
I input patient information
Mm.
and I call patients with their results and I tell them their results with the COVID-19 test. So
Well, that must not be an easy job for you.
Well, it's easy because I'm not allowed to call patients who have been tested positive. I can only call patients who have been tested negative. So I get a lot of good and happy responses, of
Well,
course.
I guess you have the good side of the stick, right?
Exactly, exactly. Because I'm not a doctor, I can't be the one calling the positive
Oh,
patient. They have to walk them through what they have to do next.
okay, that's fair. That's true. The thing that is going to make a lot of people stand out, not just students, but like literally anybody, would be, what did you do during COVID? What new skill did you learn? And that's exactly what I told the students. That's exactly what I tell everybody.
And that's
If you
exactly what I'm living for in the moment right now is
Absolutely,
it
you
definitely
need to learn and come out of COVID with something
exactly.
solid to say. You can't wait. You can't be sorry for yourself. That's one thing that you can't do.
What I realize is we've all been hoping and wishing for time to be able to do other things.
Mm,
And now that we've all been given this pause and we've been given this time right now, people are starting to shut down and be like, what do I do? This is what you do. You have the time right now to do the things you never thought you had time to do.
absolutely. You have the time to think out of the box. You have the time to juggle more than one thing at the same time. You have the time to commit, because take a look at this. And one of the things that we wanted to do was to offer students $1,000, but because we didn't get that, we got something even better. We are putting together an A-class schedule for students. We are bringing people from the best companies you can think of, from the best schools that you can think of, people that have no time on their plate, but they want to see students succeed. I don't know if you notice about the weekly schedule we have. Week one, which is going to be career planning. Week two is going to be communication. Week three is going to be strategic analysis, finance slash consulting. Week four is going to be marketing and tech. Week five is going to be
I'm
entrepreneurship.
enjoying the fact that we're not just doing a certain part of business, it's a little bit of everything. And that's exactly what I personally needed because I want to see exactly what I want to do with my life. Entrepreneurship's going to be interesting. I've
Is
always wanted to see what skills you need in order to be an entrepreneur because it's not just saying, oh, I want to open up my own business. You know, you need to have the skills in order to do that. You need to be a risk taker in order
mhm.
to do that. And it's definitely interesting. I feel like being an entrepreneur is a huge risk, but in a good way because you're testing out the waters, you're seeing what's popular right now that people are going to want.
But more importantly, what are these problems out there? And do you even have the skill sets to solve that problem, right? And identifying problems and creating opportunities, not just for yourself, but for the world. It could be a very small problem within your community, or it could be a global problem. But I think that everybody has the ability to hone some entrepreneurial skills.
Very true. It's just one of those things where it's also like, what can we do to resolve that problem? Or like, what company can I open in order to solve that problem?
Absolutely. What product, what service, and it could just be a local problem, and it could have a local solution. But the beautiful thing about entrepreneurship is, if a community has a problem, there's a good chance that other communities have similar problems, and you can scale that if you know what you're doing. So that is a beautiful thing about entrepreneurship.
Exactly. And I actually tried to conduct a project last year. I volunteer every weekend at my religious
Oh,
place of
beautiful.
worship, and I'm a religious teacher. So I teach first grade, and they're so cute. They're such good kids. But I realized while working there in Chicago, because I'm from Florida, I've been to Alabama, I've met kids from many different states,
Mm-hmm.
and I also had a work study job when I had to tutor kids
Mm-hmm.
after school time, and also first graders. There was like elementary to high school, so I met many different kids. But focusing on that age group, I realized a lot of them don't know how to read properly.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them don't know like 3-letter words. So I tried to open up a library in my church and a whole curriculum I planned with a reading log and stuff like that, where kids would have to read at least one book every week, and we'd give them a reward at the end, which would give them the incentive to do it.
That's beautiful. And this is one good thing, right? with service is the reward is internal.
It's a good karma. And it's the same thing within yourself, like how I mentioned the law of attraction earlier. It's a big part of that. And it's saying to yourself, like, if I want to do this, I can do it. And if it's saying that I can't do it and you're being negative, that'll boomerang right back to you. You probably
Absolutely.
won't be able to do it. But
Yeah,
believing that you can and pushing forward is going to get you somewhere.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it's very refreshing to see that young people and students are really stepping up and doing things that nobody believes that a student can do, because most often people think that students don't have the experience, students don't have that perspective to look long term. But it's just refreshing and just humbling to see that a lot of students actually are out there that have the grit and that have the potential and that really want to do something different.
I feel like that comes from not just life experience, but experience through going through school.
Mm,
Like the amount of interactions you've had, who you associate yourself with is who you become. It's who you are.
absolutely.
A known fact. And personally through my life experience, again, how I mentioned before, it's pushed me to work hard to get what I want. And I know things aren't just handed to you. It needs to be deserved, but in the right way.
That's especially correct. Yeah. If there is one thing that you want to close up with, what do you want to tell them?
I would tell them good luck. This is definitely a really good experience. And I don't think any of us have really been through a pandemic like this. So the fact that we're able to join in on an experience so awesome as a virtual internship, we're probably one of the first people who were able to do this. And so I say take advantage of it. So network a lot, talk to everybody, reach out if you have any questions or concerns, because asking questions, I promise you, does not make you seem unprofessional. It makes you seem like you want to know what you're doing, and it makes it seem like you're putting in your first foot forward and you're wanting to know exactly what to do in order to progress the company and progress yourself. So just take advantage of the situation, help yourself progress in your career development. And if you need to reach out to anybody, we're here. If you want to connect with me, I'm sure Mr. Nidofer will put my name down on this post so you can connect with me on
Definitely.
LinkedIn and message me with anything. I'm willing to answer any questions, and I'll try as hard as I can to provide the answers for those questions. We're all making history right now. This is definitely something to put in the books, and if your name's on it, accomplish something and really put yourself out there. You're leaving a mark on the world right now, so make it the right one.